Hi, everybody. It's Crystal. I am here with an update on me and my COVID-19 journey. Um, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I got really sick and have a confirmed case of COVID-19. And I've been on a journey of recovering. It has been a very long road, and it's a very slow recovery. But there's good news. Today is Friday, April 24th. I went into the ER on April 7th. I'll talk a little bit about my timing of things later, but so as of today, I'm entering my third day of not needing inhalers. Yay! That's a big deal. I was needing them pretty consistently throughout the day when I was sick. So that's really huge. I'm now, it's Friday, so I'm about 10 days fever-free without medication. I am really only taking like my vitamins and my like personal medication just for, my health. I did a walk around my block, which is a really big block. I was able to do that, and I actually had more trouble in my legs and back than I did in my lungs, and that's like huge. I was able to run a couple errands the other day. That was exciting. So I wanted to answer a couple questions I've been, talking to a lot of people, and literally the first question from anybody I talk to is, where do I think I got it? And I know that everybody wants to know that because they want to figure out, everyone wants to figure it out, but what I will tell you is I don't know. And there will be no way for me to know, really. Basically, I tracked back my timing, and you can let me know if that's something you want to see, because I actually created a calendar for myself to track this myself. But basically, I must have gotten it before distancing requirements were put into effect. The timing just works out that way. So I got it before people knew to stand 6 feet apart. We did know that older people should stay home because my mom had already started staying home, and we had already distanced from each other in that way. But I had been to grocery store, I'd been places before social distancing went into effect. I can only imagine how much I would have spread this before I had symptoms if we didn't distance. It really could have been pretty bad. As it is, I probably exposed somebody, and if I did, I'm sorry. It's the worst feeling to know that you could have gotten people sick. Miraculously, my mom is totally healthy and okay. And my very, very close friend who I had seen when I would have been contagious also has tested negative. So these are all good things. Okay, so where did I get it from? Yeah, so before distancing. Underlying conditions. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I have a history of asthma. Okay, so when I say that to people, they immediately go, okay, so you had an underlying condition. Well, here's the thing. I haven't had an asthma attack. I can't even tell you the last time I had an asthma attack. I can tell you for a fact it has been well over 15, maybe even 20 years. I have not needed an inhaler in that time. I don't have a daily anything. It's not something that I even think about very much. So yes, you could say it's underlying in the sense that maybe there's a bit of a weakness there in my lungs from long ago, but otherwise I'm a generally pretty healthy person. I'm 37 years old. I'll be 38 in June. I also get asked that, like, how old are you? And the other question I get is, what were my first symptoms? So basically, what I have determined at this point, my very, very, very first symptom was fatigue. I was super, super tired. And like I said, it came in like right after we started distancing and closing down and all of that. And so I just kind of wrote it off as like, oh, I'm just tired because I'm stuck at home, kind of thing. So fatigue was the first one. And then on the 1st of April is when I had this really severe stomach episode. Sorry if you don't like details, but people do want to know the details. It was the worst stomach ache I've ever had. Diarrhea, no vomiting. Yeah, so those things happened at the time. Again, wrote it off to something else. I thought it was a food thing, whatever. It took me a couple days to recover from that. I had a couple really good days right after that. And then on the 5th, the night of the 5th, I started having sinus symptoms, like headache. That if you're used to sinus stuff, it's just that like sinus headache started. Monday the 6th is when I was dealing with the sinus stuff all day and started taking medication for it. The evening of the 6th is when I started having a fever, and then I started having breathing issues. Now, my breathing issues was not shortness of breath exactly. It was like labored breathing. And I don't know if you're not familiar with kind of what happens with asthma, that's what I recognized was the feeling that you get before an asthma attack comes on. And it's this like heaviness. My back kind of hurt from breathing. It wasn't that I couldn't take a deep breath, but it was, So when the breathing stuff kicked in and the fever stuff kicked in, that's when I called in. That's when I went to the ER, or when they sent me to the ER. And then I came home, and basically all that stuff just got worse. So it just was a really rough week after that. So I will tell you, the things that helped me is just paying attention to my body. And the fact that I went into the ER when I did was actually probably what saved me from this being a lot worse. So just pay attention to your body. Don't be a hypochondriac. You think you're a hypochondriac before you get the virus, you are 10 times worse after, because now every little thing that happens to me, I'm like, oh my God, something's happening. My body's changing. Anyway, so that's kind of what happened with that. I did videotape when I went to get my test. I went through a city like drive-through site with a mouth swab thing on April 10th, and I did record it. I'm just trying to piece it together, but I will post that because a lot of people are just curious about the process. And then 2 days ago, I got a call from the LA County Department of Health. Now, it was 12 days after my test, and about 8 days after I got my results, so it's good that they called. It's worrisome that it's so delayed, because basically they called and gave me the instructions that I already knew about how to quarantine and self-isolate. They offered, if I had people that I had been in close contact with, they offered actually to make calls for me to notify them, which obviously I had already done. They also asked me like basic demographic information. They wanted to know my age and my race and those things, but they also wanted to know what symptoms I had, when they showed up, when I went to the ER, or if I had been hospitalized, all that kind of stuff. So again, really promising that they're making those calls. A little worried that they're so delayed. I did ask about contact tracing, which I know is something people are talking about, is in the news. They are just doing it as far as individuals. So like I said, they wanted to know if I had any individual close contact, but they were not doing like businesses. Like if I had visited this grocery store on this date, I wish somebody were doing that, because I think that it would help. But again, I'll say it like a million times. The social distancing saved a lot of people from me getting them sick, because God knows how many children I would have been hugging, and parents hugging, and friends, and just anything. So I want to say thank you. I have had the most incredible outpouring of not just like love and prayers and support, but like real tangible support. My friends, my family, everybody's just like really stepped up and has been there for me, and which I'm not good at. I'm not good at asking for help, and people have been truly, truly amazing. And so what I want to say, if you're watching, first of all, you're going to get your own shout out video, just because you guys are amazing. But what I want to do, now that I'm starting to feel a little bit better, is I want to pay it forward. And I want to get some food to like the hospital where I went to the ER. I want to get some food to like the CVS that like I those poor people. I mean, my God, they are really on. I mean, you want to talk about frontline workers. They're dealing with all kinds of people walking in those stores, and people can be crazy. So I kind of want to send them some food. So I'm kind of figuring out what I'm going to do, what I can afford to do. But my plan is to pay it forward. And I recommend anybody that has the ability to do that, do a kindness for somebody, and then just ask them to pay it forward. You don't need something back. You just want to help as many people as you can. So I thank you all. I appreciate you watching my videos even. I hope that they're helpful. I'm trying to just take something that's been really, really difficult and really hard and use it to help as much as I can. I'm doing better, and it's amazing, and I feel so lucky to have gotten through this thing, and to be even able to make a video. So thank you guys. Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a great week. I know this is hard. We're home and it sucks and everybody hates it. Nobody loves it. Well, people love it, but you know what I mean? We want to see people and hug people and all of those things. Let's just do this. Just commit. Just know we're going to get through it, and we'll be better on the other side, but we have to survive it first, and our survival is dependent on distancing and staying home. I'm a testament to that. So love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you. I'm getting there. Feeling better. Thank you.